His assistant, Kenneth Iwamasa, and 4 others, including 2 doctors, were charged in his death yesterday. They've been charged in connection to Perry's death in what prosecutors call a broad underground criminal network dedicating to getting people like, Matthew Perry and powerful the surgical anesthetics that basically killed this guy. So the first thing I want to do is, Kelly showed this to me before we came in here. Kelly showed his last tweet. And guys, this is going to trip me out because the last tweet, and yes, because guys, the rumors are going to keep swirling. Every time somebody this big, this prominent, this famous, this wealthy gets killed, it always goes to like, hey, was it because he was trying to expose a pedophilia ring? There's always these questions. Kelly, can you show this last tweet that he posted? The last tweet, and it says, he goes, oh, so warm water swirling around makes you feel good, huh? I'm Matt Man. Like Matt Man as in like a, what is it called, Kelly? Like a superhero, like a vigilante, which what Batman was. So it's kind of weird. They always leave these type of crumbs before they die, if that's the truth. But then I'm going to have Kelly play a clip. This is the a U.S. Attorney, Marcus Estrada, talking about the arrest and everything that happened right after Matthew's death. Kelly, please play it.
This network included a live-in assistant, various go-betweens, 2 medical doctors, and a major source of drug supply known as, quote, the ketamine queen. The investigation revealed that in the fall of 2023, Mr. Perry fell back into addiction, and these defendants took advantage to profit for themselves. Over 2 months, from September to October 2023, they distributed approximately 20 vials of ketamine to Mr. Perry in exchange for $55,000 in cash. Defendant Placentia saw this as an opportunity to profit off of Mr. Perry. He wrote in a text message in September 2023, quote, I wonder how much this moron will pay.
Jeez. Wow. Yeah. Think about these are Kelly, you notice that? These are doctors, guys. These are doctors, and I'm going to get into that because it drives me crazy. So his personal assistant lived with him for over 25 years. He's in his will. And think about that. He's in his will. He lived with him all this time, and he was the one that administered the final dose. So Perry, as you guys know, died October 28th, 2023 from the ketamine overdose. He received several injections that day from this guy, Kenneth Iwamasa, who found him later that day, like face down in a hot tub, which is freaking wild. But he was receiving regular ketamine infusions for depression, which, by the way, you guys know this. Ketamine's used to like...
It's a horse tranquilizer. It makes you trip balls, dude. Why? Yeah. How does this solve addiction?
I don't really get it.
They said the amount they found in his system at the time he died was roughly equivalent to what they'd give somebody pre-surgery to sedate them to like actually be operated on.
Yeah,
and this was just him doing it in his hot tub.
And you nailed it, Connor. When you're there, guy, that's why you have an anesthesiologist who has a degree in college to make sure you don't slip and die, bro. Like, that is insane. So the DEA administrator, Ann Milgram, said that in one instance, the actor paid $2,000 for a vial that cost one of the physicians $12. So they're actually, they're taking advantage of him, Kelly, and that's why Kelly's attitude was like, they're like, how much we're going to get money from this moron, right? And then he paid the doctors $55,000 in cash in 2 months before his death. Among those arrested on Thursday was Dr. Salvador Plasencia, who was charged with 7 counts of distribution of ketamine, 2 charges related to allegations of falsifying records in the death. Jasveen Sangha, she was arrested. She is the drug dealer known as the ketamine queen. Like that, by the way, not a good title. Apparently, on her Instagram and stuff, she's obsessed with like the mafia and mafia movies and all that stuff. But yeah, the assistant found him dead face down in a hot tub. Paramedics were called to declare him dead. And yeah, by the way, and there's this one video I would like Kelly to show. Like, by the way, this guy, God rest his soul, from phenomenal actor, and this is just one of those tragic things where everybody thinks that they want money, guys. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was in Hollywood, and my thing was, I want money, I want fame, I just wanted, and I want to get to that. Now I've realized you could have all that, and if you're not secure here, if you don't have a foundation in your heart, in your soul, it doesn't matter. And this is him saying what happens when you get what you want, but not what you need. Go for it, Kelly. Please play it.
I had the American dream happen to me. I got the great job. I was good at it. I bought a house. The house had a pool. You know, I had the American dream, and I really, really liked it. Loved it for about 6 months, and then I walked in my house and went, "Oh man, this is not fixing this problem that I have. It's not. It doesn't solve the problem." You know, Jim Carrey did a really good quote a couple of years ago, a few years ago, and he said, "I want everybody to get their dream, all their dreams come true, everybody, so that they could know that it's not the answer." You know, that message is very powerful, because I thought it would fix everything, and you know, it didn't.
Yeah, Kelly makes a really good point. Who took the photo? Yeah, that's a good question. Who took the photo? His assistant. Why weren't they watching him? If you're giving him all this freaking drug to freaking basically kill, like, I don't know, man. That's some nefarious shit. And by the way, if my assistant, if you're in my will and you kill me, I don't get, like, do you still get the freaking shit that's in the will? Do you?
No, you'd probably be in jail if there's evidence.
Let's say again?
You'd probably be in jail if there's evidence.
Oh, I mean, but that drives me crazy, bro. But guys, so drug-related celebrity deaths and other cases that led to authorities prosecuting the people. Do you guys remember rapper Mac Miller died of an overdose of cocaine, alcohol, counterfeit oxycodone that contained fentanyl, and 2 of the men who provided the fentanyl were convicted for distribution of the drug. One was sentenced to 17 years in federal prison, and the other one got 10. And one of the main ones, Michael Jackson, died in 2009 from a lethal dose of propofol, a drug intended for the use during surgery, like you said, Connor, and other medical procedures, not for the insomnia the singer sought for. His doctor, Conrad Murray, was convicted of involuntary manslaughter in 2011, and he maintains his innocence. I heard rumors, it's not confirmed, this is allegedly, that Conrad Murray is a 33-level Mason. I heard this from an actual Mason. And if you think about it, what was Michael Jackson doing towards the end, Rob? Do you guys remember?
He was starting to speak out about a lot of stuff that was happening in the entertainment industry. And
Sony, Jimmy Iovine.
Was he reporting on himself and the Jesus juice and sleeping with kids? It's really weird that we forget, like, there's this weird, like, worship still of Michael Jackson, but no one can account for him sleeping in bed with children, him having alarms in the house so that he would be alerted to when staff was coming in down the hallway of his home to go to his room where he was in bed with underage children and making them drink wine, telling him it was Jesus juice.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But you know what people say, Rob? But he did the moonwalk. Like, you gotta, like,
he did Thriller.
Well, yeah, Thriller. But it's crazy that you say that, because, and mind you, I loved Michael Jackson. I still listen to his music, like, religiously. It's crazy, the level of your fame, because he is one of the most famous people that have ever walked the planet. Michael Jackson was by far, like, the best, king of pop, king of everything. Like, it's crazy what they let you get away with. If you're beloved at that level. Does that make sense, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, the guy had a theme park in his backyard called Neverland Ranch, and people are like, "Oh, wait, he was touching kids? What the fuck you mean?" Oh, sorry, we're 8 minutes in. What do you mean he was touching kids? Yeah, he had a theme park, and he was sleeping in bed with them. But it is weird that nobody ever talks about that anymore. It is always the Conrad Murray angle regarding it, and that whole, I mean, the amount of drugs that they were pumping into that guy is insane. Michael Jackson before he died. But when it comes to ketamine, has anybody here ever seen anybody on ketamine?
Jamie?
Yeah.
What's it like?
They call it K-hole for a reason.
Yes.
K-hole?
Yeah.
So, in Australia, we are a nation that likes to party.
Trust me, I've been there. I lost my voice.
I have witnessed people on ketamine, and yeah, it's a hallucinogen. It's just like if you were to take, like, a bunch of acid or a bunch of mushrooms.
What's it make them feel like? What's the feeling?
I don't know how to describe hallucinations to you if you've never, like, hallucinated. But essentially, so it's like seeing, like, geometric patterns inside of things,
like a DMT type
light
thing.
The
best way to explain it, Vinny, if you ever hold down an app on your phone, right? Go to your home screen and hold down, and you see how, like,
everything goes all shaky. Oh my god!
That's how your entire phone is, and then every electronic around you is the same way, and it's very interesting. I've seen people on ketamine. I had a comedian who's his girlfriend was using it for medical purposes. She was getting treated. But it was crazy because I didn't see her coming in. Like, he would take her to the appointments, and then he would stop by the comedy club on the way home, and we'd go out and talk to her, and it was like talking to someone who wasn't there. It was really odd. We'd sit there and have full-blown conversations, and she would just stare like this for the entire time. It was like watching someone just, they're there, but they're not there. Does that make sense?
They're tripping out, and it makes no sense to me. So I understand the medicinal use of using psilocybin, so mushrooms, in very small doses, and microdosing mushrooms, because there's clinical studies that actually prove that over time it actually builds and enhances neural pathways in your brain or destroys damaging ones. So it actually has like a permanent long-term effect as you integrate the medicine into your life. Whereas when you're doing something like microdosing ketamine or microdosing
cocaine,
MDMA,
anything, yeah.
I don't think they prescribe cocaine that I'm aware, but I know for sure MDMA and ketamine are two things that they're trying to experiment with medicinally.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make sense to me. It's just like a Band-Aid solution. Like when the effects wear down, there aren't going to be any lasting changes made to that person's brain. They're just going to end up being fried, as is the case with your friend's wife.
And recreational nitrous oxide is also taking off right now. Milo Yiannopoulos is doing a whole thing about
2002.
Yes, it's very weird. Apparently Kanye West is hooked on it, and there's all sorts of stuff going on about it. But the dentist who took out Kanye's teeth and gave him those platinum dentures has apparently been supplying him with nitrous. Like, this is too deep to get into on this episode, but if you go look at Milo's Twitter, he's filing all sorts of complaints. There's all sorts of investigations.
And it's crazy when you actually read what Milo's saying these doctors are doing. Like, I believe, didn't he say that, like, that Kanye rented the home next to his and moved the dentist in and is paying the dentist hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to be next door to him to give him nitrous oxide whenever he wants it?
And the things nitrous does to you, like it rots your spinal cord and makes you go insane, essentially. So that might be what's going on with Kanye.
And to Amy's point, it's big in Silicon Valley. They talk all about microdosing, and a lot of these creatives that are working on different technology in Silicon Valley are utilizing microdosing. There's been articles about the benefits of it. I do believe that there's benefits in microdosing certain substances under the care of a doctor or somebody who is, medically can give you medical advice in doing that. I don't believe it's like, let me go to one of the guys in the video editing bank. You got any LSD so I can microdose? That's two different things. Yeah. But doing it under the guise of a doctor and having somebody on staff, if it's done the right way, I could see the benefits of that. But when you're doing it in a hot tub and these are people that are tweeting or texting behind your back, like, how much money can we get from Chandler from Friends for the ketamine? That's so shitty.
And you're his assistant, and dude, like, if the guy's living with you, I can see the relationship. They have a bond. You live with them. There's photos of them together. They were close. He puts you in his will. You're a scumbag for letting him get to that point and letting those type of messages go. How much money can we get out of him? Oh, you're cooked. Yeah, there's more. Yeah, there's more on. Yeah, you're cooked. So, by the way, and your heart goes out because, guys, and I'm not being that guy, but I saw this coming from Matthew Perry. When I saw him on that Friends reunion and he's sitting over there and they were like, Schwimmer and all them were like, yo, dude, like, what are you talking? Are you okay? He didn't look okay. And it's like at some point, somebody got to come in and be like, yo, dude, like, we got to intervene with this guy. Like, you're surrounded by bad people. They don't give a shit about you. You look unhealthy. And the point that somebody's giving you, like, dude, $55,000 in that short amount of time to put ketamine in you, it's a death wish.
Over 30 years, Matthew Perry would try 15 different rehabs and spend upwards of $7 million trying to quit his addictions. Wow. Imagine, like, it's actually super sad to sit and think about this guy who, like he said, he thought he had his dreams. He accomplished everything he ever wanted. This guy was so tortured inside that he spent $7 million trying to figure out how to fix that hole, going to 15 different rehabs. And it's not like each of those rehabs comes with a relapse, right? Because you go to rehab, you get clean, you go out in the real world and you try and practice what you lived in or learned in rehab and apply that to everyday life. And when that fails and you relapse, you go back into rehab. This is a cycle over 30 years that this guy went through. Yeah. And to think that you wonder why? Look at the people that he had around him that were there to try and protect him and help him. And meanwhile, they're just trying to milk him for his money.
Yeah, and Rob, FYI, if you have somebody in your life called the ketamine queen, there's a problem, bro. I lost two friends before I moved here. I lost two friends, Rob. I've told you this story, right? 2 of my friends and one of their girlfriends were at this other person's house. I'm not going to say any names. And they all thought they were going to hang out and they were going to have fun and whatever. This person got drugs from a drug dealer, and it was laced with fentanyl, and all 3 of them died on the spot, okay? And apparently she OD'd but fell asleep and didn't wake up. Guess who they didn't call first? Not 911. They called the drug dealer's husband to come up and help clean up the scene and do all that type of stuff. So it's like, it's unbelievable. Just that whole life, bro, that whole Hollywood life and drugs, you never know. Like there's, and this was just, hey, doing ketamine and whatever. And they gave him obviously a hot dose and it was way, way too much. But like just doing drugs in general, how can you trust it? And I know people in LA now, I'm not even joking, when all that happened with my friends and everything, Kelly, this is no joke. They started walking around with fentanyl drug testing kits. Meaning they would take some cocaine, they'd put it in this thing, and they'd go, okay, we're good, and then they'd do drugs. Let me explain something, folks. If you're at the point in your life where you need a poison fentanyl testing kit, I think it's safe to say it's time to throw in the towel. Well, that's it.
You know, here's the thing, though. Drugs are the most powerful, high-margin industry of all time. It's the ultimate way to get rich. And it's legal drug dealing we're talking about. We're talking about doctors who have the power granted by the government to prescribe drugs, and you know, a lot of them know what they're doing when they're getting people hooked on them. That's a big thing that's going on.
Oh, of course, it's all a racket.
Why wouldn't you do it if you're given the opportunity and you care more about money than anything else? I mean, that's really what it is.
And I hope all those people spend a lot of time in jail.
Well, to your point, Vinny, just to have some comfort here. The ketamine queen is facing life in prison if she's convicted, and the doctor is facing 120 years.
Okay, good.
So odds are pretty good that if they're convicted, they will go to jail for the rest of their lives.
Okay, good. What's up, everybody? Vincent O'Shaughnessy here. If you want to see me and the entire Valuetainment crew, we will be at the Vault Conference September 4th through the 7th at the Palm Beach Convention Center, hosted by none other than Patrick Bet-David and featuring Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Guys, this is the place to be. If you are an entrepreneur and you want to level up, do not miss this opportunity. This is the best place to network. If you want tickets, go to thevaultconference.com. Do not waste time. This thing is going to sell out, and I will see you guys there. Peace and love. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.